What up guys, Wrath here, and this is going to be Infected with Skill versus Imperious. This war was May 15th, so I'm probably going to be uploading this like the day or two after, so yeah. On Monday of this week, we completely dominated IS, who were like regarded as one of the best clans. So like, they were definitely out to get us this war. They definitely wanted to like shut us up because, you know, Imperious are like the trolls and the evil of 2008, lol. So yeah, anyway, I pull a Shroom first box, and I'm not really pleased with that, and then I end up getting owned by Sword right there with his triple reds. Oh, triple reds, you're going to see a lot of those. So I decide to stop right here, I wait till 30 seconds, and I chain my Shroom into the box, and luckily we start off this war great, and I do pull the Shök, so right off the bat, everything's going well for us. We didn't want to be too obvious with this, so I'm going to speed this up real quick, you'll see when we're going to use it. What is it called? Right now, I'm pretty sure we had the Bill, we had a Star, and we had a Mega. So Charles was the ahead with the Mega, so we let him do the countdown, and he's gonna chain right here, and we're gonna use the Shök. We dodge 3 of us, I'm pretty sure. But the only bad thing is Charles got completely owned on the dock because I think whoever was in first, I think it might have been Joe. He dropped like a shell or a fib or something, so that kind of sucked. The good thing is I'm able to chain a Star here, so I take the cut, and what is it called? Before I forget, yeah, I get a Star right here, and I was too stupid not to use it, but I'm pretty sure Timothy, or Sword, whatever you want to call him, Tim, picked it up, so that wasn't too bad. And we're going into lap 3. We have, I'm pretty sure, no, I'm 100% sure, we have top 2 or 3 right now. And, what's it called? Pow, I'm pretty sure, pulled a Shroom in second, a Sasui, or whatever you want to call it. So he's pretty much good to go right now. The Bill is coming right here with Derrick, but luckily it ends for us. We didn't want them to get a late game Shök because that would have totally killed us this race. So right here, as you're going to see, one of the Funky, I'm pretty sure that was it Charles? I think Charles takes the cut. I pull a golden here, but I just fell miserably with the cut. I probably could have gotten a better spot if I didn't do that. But it didn't really matter because Pow was right ahead of me, who's CandyMan. So we're going to able. I really can't speak English. I'm doing this at like 12 at night, so it's kind of hard. Anyway, we finish up strong, and we win the first race 40-21, putting us up by 19 points, and that was like a great way to start the war. We're getting on the right foot, and it's pretty much perfect. I do have the scores on the left, of each race and each GP, so you can always reference that if you need to. So yeah, we got 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and they pretty much just got first and then all the bottom spots, so that works out for us. Mikey was teleporting so much in this war, it was ridiculous. And the next race that came up was Koopa Cape. So, referencing the war back to Monday, I'm pretty sure it was Monday. I'll have in the description, I'll have the war from Monday, the scores from that, and I'll also link Twilis's video because that was hilarious. We top 5 them on Koopa Cape. I pulled the Shök on lap 3, and I just called it out because I saw we were in some dodges and we had stuff, and it just caught them completely off guard. So anyway, this race, I wasn't really intentionally going to go for Shök, but then I see their bottom 2, and right here, Derrick, I'm pretty sure it is, just stops, so I'm like, shit, they're going to go for the Shök. So I try and make one, risky effort, and just touch the box at 30 seconds to see if maybe I can pull it in 9th, but unfortunately I pull the Bill, which means they're definitely going to be getting the Shök, and we're just going to have to be on our toes. Now, one thing that definitely benefited us this war is we dodged so many of their Shöks because they were really uncoordinated with it and they used it really slowly. They would be in their power item and it might be a good 1 or 2 seconds before they actually activated the Shök, so we definitely benefited there. Right now Riku, I'm pretty sure, is holding a Mega, so he's just getting ready to dodge because we know they have the Shök. And oh wait, before I do that, you saw Derrick spin out on the minimap a few seconds ago, in the tunnel you can see him. He actually didn't have the Shök, he had a Star, so that was really bad, because if I would have used the Bill, I could have had a shot of getting in 9th. I probably should have looked at that, but I didn't notice it at the time. I only noticed it watching the video after. So yeah, I fail here and I activate the Bill, which was actually really good, because one of them in the tunnel, I'm not sure who it was, but one of them activated a Star, so that probably canceled them from using the Shök. The bad thing is we are really, we're not in great shape this race, and we're definitely going to need to come back. So right now, I'm pretty sure we're first, but we have no other good spots. We're kind of in the middle back of the pack. I'm going to go for a box right here, but unfortunately they do activate their stuff in dodge. I think 2 of them dodged in Stars, but luckily for us, Charles dodged in Omega because their Shök was really slow. So he benefited from that, and two of us, I know right after the shock, I think it was Pow and Charles, we got goldens, and including me, I also got a golden. So that worked out like perfectly. We're like hacking or something. I'm not 100% sure if Pow got it. I think Pow might have gotten something else, but I don't know. I can't even remember this. This was like, I'm commentating this like 2 hours later. So anyway, I chained the star here. I was hoping for a late game shock because I'm pretty sure one of us were holding a star in the tunnel. I'm not exactly 100% sure who. And we also did get a blue, so we were able to blue, what was it called? I think it was Mikey who we blued. Joe got owned by Pow's triple red, so we're like rocking it right here. Derrick's just off to the side because, you know, he's a lap behind. And this worked out perfectly for us because the track that we top 5'd on, like, in the last war we played with them, they do get the late shock here, but it didn't really make a difference. The track that we top 5'd them on before, we dominated them in this war also. We got 1, 2, 3, and we also got 6, 9. So we won that race 42-19, and at this point we were just like jizzing in our pants because we were just dominating again, and it was like, I don't know, we got really good chemistry. We haven't been playing together for a long time, but like in the Skype call, we performed to excellence. I don't know, whatever. So yeah, the next track was Luigi Circuit, and we fum rum this track. If you don't know what fum rum is, it means front run in Imperious language. So this is like the big Imperious track, LC for life, man. And so yeah, Tim is gonna stop here. I'm pretty sure he pulled the bullet. Tom Sword, whatever you want to call him. His name is Tim in the war. He wasn't Skyping in the war because he lagged a lot, and well, he didn't lag a lot, but his connection wasn't too strong, so we decided not to Skype. I thought Derrick was going to reverse here, so I did go backwards, and I ended up pulling a star, which is perfect. If I pulled the bill there, we would have been in a lot of trouble, but I pulled the star, so I'm going to wait. I see Jerk, I'm pretty sure it's Jerk, coming backwards to try and get it, but I'm able to get the star. Oh no, it was Shök who did that. Sorry. Anyway, I chained my star at 30. I was so sure I was going to get the shock, even if the bill wasn't in play, because, you know, like 30 seconds you're in last, and I'm just chaining the box right there, but unfortunately I do get the bill, and now we're like 90% sure that Shök is going to end up getting the shock. That's just funny. Shök and shock, okay. Anyway, I'm going to get a star here, so now I'm wondering if he has the bill or if he has the shock, because I should have gotten probably the bill there if it was in play, but now I'm not sure. So I'm going to chain another star over here, and this just confirms my thought that he has the shock, because I'm going to go after him with my star, and he's just going to dodge it for dear life. So now I'm pretty sure, I'm not, oh yeah, we were holding a mega, but we ended up taking cut with that. I activate my bill here, and for some reason, I'm not sure why he didn't use it, because I was pretty much out of contention, but maybe he didn't even no, he definitely had it, but I used my bill there, and, I just take 9th place, and that works out pretty well. I'm not sure if that's why they didn't use the shock, maybe they just didn't have anything, but for a race where we didn't get the shock, and we were kind of banking on it, and I kind of went backwards and stuff, we only lose the race by 1, which is really well, and Mikey is teleporting more than a ghost. He honestly, in this war, he probably disappeared more than a ghost would. So anyway, we're doing really well in the GP right now, and the last race is Dry Ruins, which was good for us. I effed up so badly here, but it still worked out in the end for our team, as you'll see in a sec. So I'm starting in 9th place. I do the hop. You're going to see that. I do the hop at the beginning whenever I do a startup boost, just because I like to stay in the back, like especially in this war because I was going for shock and stuff. But I do pull triple shrooms. I wanted to chain there. I probably should have hung on to the last shroom, but I use it up. At this point, we have top 4, and you can see in the back, they are all back there, except for Timothy, who's in actually last place, because I'm not really sure why. Oh, is he in? Yeah, what do you call Timothy is a daisy. So anyway, we're top 4 right here, and I just completely F up. I hit the bats, and I was just like raging in the Skype call. I was like, oh my god, I did not just do that. But it, you know, it still works out for us. So I was mad right here, so I went backwards. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm getting the shock. But unfortunately for me, I pulled a golden, so I'm just like, fuck it, I'm not getting the shock, I'm getting back into contention. I played really poorly this war, but I did come up with some clutch shocks. So right now, I'm pretty sure that breakaway, they have first, but we have second, and I'm pretty sure we had third over here until this cluster fuck up here. So I pull a star, and I'm going to chain right here. I was hoping to get the shock. I really wasn't aware of anything in play right now. I'm pretty sure that we had the bill. Was it us that had the bill? It might have been us that had the bill. I knew the bill was in play. That's all I really knew. I should have recorded the Skype call and used it like as a reference here, because I'm pretty stupid. Anyway, so we're all bottom spots right now. We know we're going to need a shock over here. someone activates the star. I'm pretty sure that was them. And I pull a star here, and Riku behind me also pulls a star. So we're bottom 4 right now. Apparently we did have the shock. I'm not even sure who had it, but I was totally unaware of this. And if I did know we had it, I would have called it like not even a fraction of a second earlier. I would have called for it like go, 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 go. But I didn't even know we had it. I pull the blue here, which is perfect because they are in first. So I'm able to throw it, and it's going to get to them in time. Last box here, I really wanted the bill. Just somehow give me the freaking bill. But I got a golden, which is probably the worst thing I could have gotten there. Not the worst thing. A star probably would have been the worst thing. But I would have rather triple sherms because then I could chain these boxes and took the sand cut. So yeah, anyway, I get bumped here, and I just get wrecked out of my mind. Unfortunately for us, Joe and Riku both hit the same fib, and that lets Derrick come up, and we end up getting last place in this race. But we still do good with the top spots. We're able to get 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And we end up winning the race by 5, and that gives us the win in the GP by 46 with a score of 155 to 99. So we're definitely off to a good start at this point. In the call, we're all like, guys, we're doing it again. How are we this freaking amazing? And GP2, they would end up giving us a run for our money like early on, but we would be able to recover, and I guess instead of talking about it, we should just go right there. To Peach to Beach. Alright, so yeah. Next race was Peach Beach, and this was my random. Because I don't have the last 2 Retro Cups, like, unlocked, so I'm missing, like, 8 of the tracks, so I just ended up picking random because I didn't want to, like, vote anything bad, even though there were, like, a ton of tracks left. I'm just stupid. Anyway, Peach Beach, this is Jerk's track and Shök's track, so I knew we were in trouble here, and I was pretty sure we were going to have to get the shock, so I purposely avoid all the item boxes, and now it's 14 seconds, 15 seconds, 16 seconds, and I'm looking behind me, and I see behind me that the IS guy is going backwards. So I decided to quickly turn around. Luckily for me, I did pull a golden there, so like I wasn't stuck with the bill, or like I was able to get back quickly also. And right here I got stuck on here. I was scared of trolling, so I just go to the side. And in that time, I'm pretty sure, I think it's, who is it in last that got the box? I think it's Derrick who is bagging. He touches the box, and I'm pretty sure he got shocked there. I was almost 100% sure because, you know, there's really no reason he wouldn't. Wink, wink, HBC. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so I pull a golden here, and at this point, my beliefs are confirmed that he definitely does have the shock. And I'm also telling my team that I'm pretty sure the bill is in play. Right here, they activate the shock, but it was really late. I'm pretty sure it was Charles who dodged an Omega, and that worked out perfectly for us. And I also pulled the bill, so now I was like, alright, just don't get owned at the end, don't get owned at the final straightaway, just get the best spots you can. Because at this point, I'm pretty sure they were top 2. The POW over there just completely, like, mindfuck. I'm not even sure what happened up there, but you see a bunch of heads spinning out, and it was just like a clusterfuck. I wait till everyone finishes, and then I use the bill, and luckily for me, I am able to get 9th this race, because the extra point always matters. I love how some people, they don't even worry about getting 9th, but the extra point always matters, like, so much. Derrick did end up having the shock, he confirmed it right there, but I am able to outstand, whatever the word is, and pick up 9th place. So we do lose the race by 1, and that kind of sucks, but it could have been much worse. As you can see, Jerk and Shök, or S.Rahman and Shök, they get 1-3 because they're the Peach Beach Masters. And now we go on to the next race, which, this next race, like, we were doing well, and then this race just, like, put us back in the mind frame that we haven't won this yet, and we're definitely, like, still playing for it. Excuse me, I need a drink. So, I decided to go backwards here. I thought Derrick might counter me, but he's apparently, like, the professional racer at this track, so he doesn't. I wanted to avoid the boxes right here and go between them, but I'm stupid and I don't. But I do pull a golden, so that, like, works perfectly for me, because now I can just go up to the next set of boxes. I can chain there at 30 seconds, and I can hopefully get the shock for my team. Little did I know that this race would completely freaking troll me, because just seriously look at this. Go into the first box at 30 seconds, and I pull a star. So I'm like, okay, I didn't get the bill, so I still have a shot at this. Go into the next box, and I pull a star. So at this point, I'm like, the bill is definitely in play, because if not, I definitely would have gotten it by now. And I keep getting these stars, and I'm like, holy shit, can I just get the shock? Tom here was failing, so he failed the Ultra like 8 times, I don't even know. Sword, it's Tom, I don't know. Anyway, so now he's in last, and he's going to end up getting the shock. But as I said before, he's not in the call to, like, tell us. So I was trying to devise a plan with the people in the call, like, how I would get him to use it. But unfortunately, it didn't work out too well. As you can see, I keep chaining these freaking stars. I just wanted to get the fucking bill, like, to catch up. And I thought someone probably would have used that by now. But I guess not. So I go for another box here. And right now, Pow has a Mega, and I pulled a star. So I was going to wait until Tom and I were on the same straightaway. Sword, Tim, I am Tom, I am Sword. I was going to wait until we're on the same straightaway, and I told Pow to activate his Mega now, and I used the star hoping that Tom would see and would, like, give us the dodge. But unfortunately, he wasn't aware, and he ends up making the Ultra twice with the Shock, which is, like, professional racer status. But we're still getting really badly trounced this race, so, like, we needed to come back, and we really couldn't do it because we were defenseless here. Derrick took the Ultra lap 1, and I'm pretty sure he had, like, triple shrooms in first or something, so they were locked up for first. Luckily for us, I think it was Charles was in second. And then, not Charles, Riku was in second, and then Pow was in fourth, so we weren't really out of it. Jerk got a TC, which is good for us, and I'm going to chain my star here. I pulled triple shrooms, and now, at the beginning of the race, like before we started, I'm like, just don't take the cut the whole race, guys, because we can't afford to get bad spots here, and let alone we did. But I go for the cut here. It wasn't really a risk at this point, because look at the top spots. It's just such a breakaway. I'm able to make it, so now I'm in 6th place, and, what's it called? Charles made it also, but he just gets immediately rutted, and that's like, damn it. So I try and throw my bomb at Jerk here, and he lags right through it. I guess he had a shroom or something and shroomed up through the boxes. I pull a single shroom as my last item, and this was just a clusterfuck. Pow got completely Japan there with a bomb and a bullet, and he's going to end up getting last place. I'm pretty sure Tom also got 9th, so we did get bottom 2, and that race was just disastrous for us, because that pretty much brought them back into the war. They got 1st, 2nd, 4th, 6th, and 7th. We got bottom 3, and we didn't get any of the top 2 spots, which is just a killer. Whenever you do that, you know it's not going to be good. So we lose the race 1942, so that pretty much, like, cancels our KC race, which was, like, the highlight of our war for us. But it wasn't really a big deal, because we were still winning by, I think, 28 at this point. Correct me if I'm wrong with the math. And, what's it called? We picked Sherbet Land here because we needed a track where we could all front run, and hopefully I could pull the Shock. Because, you know, Sherbet Land is just one of those tracks where there's no way to really catch up with a shortcut. The only way you're going to catch up is pretty much dodging, or just, like, chaining a bunch of Goldens. So, I'm going to intentionally avoid all the boxes. I know if I get Shocked this race, we're pretty much good to go, because at this point, we're getting a breakaway with top 3 or top 4. Like, you can see on the mini-map, the dry bones, not dry bones, but dry bones. And right here, I was, like, scared as hell. I see Jerk go backwards, but he makes the unfortunate error of touching the box at 28. He didn't wait till 30, and he pulls the bill here. Thank God I didn't pull a golden and I pulled triple shrooms, because I get a star here. I'm able to turn back around. Well, I guess I go forward. I would have been able to turn back around if I wanted to, but I keep going, just hoping that I was able to pull Shock here. And luckily for me, with this box, I am, and this pretty much just secures our victory here. I can just speed this up because there's really not much to say right here. You see, we're top 3 right now, and I think we're also in 4th or 5th holding the blue. I think that was Riku holding the blue. It was either Riku or Charles holding the blue, but we are top 3 or top 4. Mikey's going to end up shrooming up, which kind of sucks because that kind of broke us. I think we end up getting top 2, 5, 6, and 10th, but we just completely dominated the race overall. I'm able to hold the Shock for the whole thing until the end, and I probably shouldn't have even used it because they just bitch about the Shock count. That's the funny thing. They got more Shocks than us, but the way we use them, we just completely outplay them. So we end up getting 1, 2, 5. Alright, 1, 2, 5, 8, and 10. So yeah, we do win the race, but it wasn't as great as I thought it was going to be because we were top 4. I'm pretty sure Tom got starred, but Pow in this race came up so clutch. He pulled like 3 sets of triple reds and just completely mindfucked Joe. It was like crazy. So anyway, you probably saw the select. Actually, if you haven't like wondered by now, I am using a Japanese disc because my Wii stopped reading discs. So I decided to use a USB loader, and I just decided why not use Japanese. I got a red line, and red's my favorite color. So anyway, they're stopping, and I knew this race was going to be very shock reliant. Obviously, it's a cannon track because, you know, Parkway and cannons and dot shock and stuff. But we were able to hold them off quite nicely this race, even though they did get the shock. And it definitely worked out in our favor because I don't even know why, but they were just really off this war. Infected with skill, they're like known for being able to like use the shock really well and like dodge and just play like really strong and really consistently. But in this war, they were just lacking with their shocks, and I'm not really sure why, but whatever. I draft here, and I was going to go on to the off-road, so I just decided to use my golden up. At this point, we know they have the shock because I'm pretty sure it was Shök who's in the back. The Funky Kong who just went over the cannon. He stopped to get shock, so at this point, we're kind of like, alright, we're just going to have to predict this and plan it out. And luckily for us, they do an awful job, like, with it. Right here, I'm going to pull triple reds, and Joe, you can stop bitching about... Joe actually got kicked out of IS after this war, as far as I know, unless he's just being a drama queen, like usual. So yeah, we're able to take, like, 2 of them out over here, and for some reason, they used the shock. They dodged me, Riku, and Jerk, and I'm just able to red Jerk right there. So pretty much they dodged 2 of our players and didn't benefit themselves at all. Jerk ended up having the bill, so he's just able to use that real quick. And I pull a blooper, which isn't great, but I'm going to stop here just in case, because I wanted to get a star and hopefully, like, dodge the late game shock. I end up pulling the bill, which isn't as great as you would think. I would have much rather have a star that I could have chained there at that set of item boxes and hopefully pull something else. But, you know, the bill is good also. I was making sure and being cautious that I wouldn't get started by Derrick here. And they did have first place here, so I was just going to predict that they would have dodged in the cannon if they did have the shock. And luckily for us, they didn't, so, I mean, it kind of evens out. But anyway, I activate the bill here as Mikey goes into the cannon. And, I'm letting my teammates know I'm coming through with the bill, so just watch out right after the cannon. I'm going to stop right here, because I know if I just keep going in 5th and I get something like... Even if I get, like, a single shroom or, like, greens or reds or something, that's not going to benefit me. I really wanted a star, and I did get it. So now I'm able to chain at this set of boxes, and I just go, like, apeshit on here. I go after Joe. That makes him go wide. And right now, they're, like, all behind us, so it's pretty much all up to what I get in this last box. And the 1 TC I get in this war is actually helpful. I'm able to use it, and, I mean, it could have been better, because Joe takes it right here as I go into the off-road and, like, mollywops me. But I'm still able to hang on for 5th or 6th. I'm pretty sure I did get 5th that race. Even though they did get the shock, we end up only losing the race by 3. And to be honest, we probably should have won it because the shock benefited us more than it did them. So yeah, anyway, we kind of slacked off a little bit that GP. We lost it 113 to 131. I mean, it's only 18 points, so it's not really that big a deal. But it would have been nice to win it. What does that put it at? What's 46 minus 18? That would be... Hold on, I know this. That's 28, right? 46 minus 18? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's 28. So at this point, we're up by 28, and there's 4 races left. We were going to pick Toad's Factory, like the race before that we just played Parkway, because I didn't have Parkway unlocked, so I picked Toad's Factory. And I picked it again here, forgetting that it was a new GP and that they had top spots. So that was kind of a misplay on my part. And we didn't pay for it too much, but I definitely shouldn't have done it. Anyway, let's get started here. I know that we're going to need the shock this race, and luckily for us, we are going to pull it. But it doesn't go directly as planned because we end up trying to use like an unusual shock tactic, and we try and like catch them off guard. But if we were going to do it, we probably should have waited till lap 3 because we do end up using it early, and we kind of get like fucked for it. So anyway, I'm going to stop here, and I see their Daisy, which is Derrick. Actually, I'm not pretty sure. I'm 100% sure. I see Derrick stopping. So right here at 30, I'm going to fake out. He thinks I hit the box, and you can see him slow down a little bit there on the conveyor belts, which means he took a box. Now that he took it, I'm pretty sure he would have pulled the bullet in 9th. So then I chain my triple shrooms, and I'm able to pull the shock, which I guess I kind of outplayed him there. But, yeah, whatever. I mean, getting the shock is lucky, but to use, like, mind games and be able to, like, outsmart a little bit, just that little extra touch of happiness and joy can always make the difference. So anyway, we have a star and a mega right here. I'm pretty sure it's Pow and Riku who are holding them. And we're going to use the shock right here in a really unsuspected place. And it wasn't Shock and Riku. I mean, it wasn't Pow and Riku. It was Riku and Charles. One of them had a mega and one of them had a star. So we use it there, but unfortunately for us, Mikey is still first after taking the cut. So, we're going to end up getting a blue. But Joe is also going to, or no, it was Joe who's in first here. I'm really bad at, like, doing this. I definitely should have recorded the Skype call. I'm referencing it. Joe is in first. We're going to end up pulling the blue. But unfortunately, Mikey pulls a golden down at, like, the conveyor belt. And he's going to end up catching up and taking over first place. I pull a golden here. I much rather would have gotten, like, a star or something. Because I wanted to get the late game shock. We did have another star. So if we did get the late game shock, we would have been able to completely F them over. Pow's right here. I let him know I'm using my star just in case, like, because I don't want to hit him. And unfortunately, we both do get golden, so that pretty much guarantees us bottom 2, which is really unfortunate because we did play well this race. They end up getting first, and luckily for me over here, I'm not really sure what happened, But Shök got owned, and I'm able to just barely outspeed Derrick or S.Rahman for 7th place. So we didn't lose like as much as we could have. If that wouldn't have happened, they would have gotten, let's see, they would have gotten +6 out of it or something. I don't really know. I mean, it's not that much of a difference maker, but to only lose the race by 7, we did have a shock, but they definitely came back after it. To only lose the race by 7, it's still pretty good. Next race was RBC, and we just completely, like, we just didn't even care about the shock here, because things just didn't go our way in the beginning. Derrick's going to end up getting the shock, but we're able to, like, withstand it quite nicely. I think in, like, he tried to, I'll just do it when it happens. Anyway, I wanted to slow down and not take a box here, right? I thought Pow was going to take it, but unfortunately he doesn't, and I end up pulling the bill, which is the worst thing that could have possibly happened, because Pow pulled a golden, and he's just going to be shrooming up here. What is it called? So now I have the bill, and Derrick's going to decide to go backwards to get the shock. I'm not really sure what they had, but that's really unfortunate for us because I'm holding the bill, and now there's absolutely no chance that they won't get it. So we're pretty much just going to have to play on our toes and try and predict or do something fancy. Anyway, I'm going to be holding a bill the majority of the time, so, like, yeah. Derrick is behind me. I know he's probably holding some kind of dodge at this point, and I'm pretty sure it was a star. Not pretty sure. I'm almost 100% sure. That's still pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he's holding a star, and he uses it here to catch up. I told my team that they're probably not going to use the shock here because it'd be pretty pointless, and no one else was in dodges on their team apparently, so that just wouldn't have made any sense. I was telling everyone, because, I mean, there's really only one place to really benefit, like, a ton more than you would at any other place with the shock here. And, Riku dropped to last and used the POW, so everyone's going to activate their stuff. They have a star and a mega. I'm holding the bill. Luckily, it didn't drop me into the thwomp right there. We have first right now with Tom or Sword. I keep saying Tom. Oh, my God. Because you guys don't know him as Tom. You know him as Sword. And Pow's going to shroom up right here through the cut. So right now, we're 1-3-5. And Pow just gets mollywopped right there. He gets redded by Joe. And then that bomb just comes out of nowhere and takes him for a loop. So Pow got Japan for a second time. But it's okay because he's the rape master and he gets triple reds a lot. I pull a shroom here. And now we know the shock is going to be coming soon. I keep telling them that, like, I'm telling my team if anything does, like, happen, I'm just going to shout. And that's, like, your cue to activate your shit. I wasn't sure if they were going to do it, like, first set of item boxes or they were going to wait for the cut. But I unfortunately, like, I don't know why I didn't avoid it. I guess I was just too lazy or something. But, alright, hold on. I got redded, back spammed. I threw my bomb away. And then Shök tries to red me. He ends up redding his teammate. So that works really well because S.Rahman's now, like, man down. I get redded right here. And I just get raped over here. But I see Derrick coming up behind me. So I was like, just overtake me. Let me try and bomb the shock out of him. Hopefully they won't use it. But unfortunately, I do it a tiny smidget late, and he is able to avoid my bomb. So now I'm like, they're going to the grass. They're definitely going to shock. We did end up, Pow ended up dodging in a mega, so that worked perfectly, and they did fail the target shock on Sword, who's in first. I'm going to pull a star here, so, I mean, that wasn't great. That means I'm probably going to get last. I really wanted the bill, but unfortunately, they were holding the bill. So, yeah, well, they weren't holding it. They chained it with shock. Whatever, it doesn't make a difference. They still have the bill. Anyway, we're going to end up finishing, I'm pretty sure, top 2 here. And we did get a lot of the lower spots also, but top 2 is always good. You're definitely going to win the race unless you get top 2, bottom 3, in which you lose by 1. So, yeah, we end up getting 1, 3, 5, 9, 10, which means we won the race by 3. And we were doing pretty nicely going into the last 2 races. We had a 24-point lead, if my math is correct. Let's see, we were up by 28. Then we lost by, yeah, we had a 24-point lead going into the last 2 races. And when GV got picked, we were all just holding our breaths because I was like, guys, just let me get the shock because we can't afford them all dodging, doing the glitch on lap 3. Not the glitch, the cut, whatever you want to call it. And just getting completely top forward by them. But they're like, no, just keep racing, Wrath. And I'm like, alright, I'll see how it goes. So I hop here just to make sure I remain in the back. And I'm going to wait for Shök to take a box so I can just go through his path and, like, not touch a box. They're all stopping for dodges, so at this point it's really obvious. You can see every one of them is back here. But we do have a golden and a shroom in our top, like, 4 right now. So that worked out really well. Shök stopped there for, or I guess he had the bill or something. I don't even know. Why would he fall off there? It had to be intentional. There's no way he did it by accident. But instead of going backwards, I'm just going to wait until the 30 mark, and I'm going to see if I can get it. I go around the boxes there, hoping maybe he'll pull the bill in the time where I don't touch a box. And I get a star there, so I'm quite hopeful. And I still don't know if he had the bill or not, because, I mean, I do get a golden and a star, which means the bill's probably in play already. Because, alright, just in reference, there's only one POW, one blooper, one bullet bill, one blue shell, and one shock in play at a time. And now he suicides off here, which means he definitely did have the bill. So instead of going backwards like I should have, I go forwards and just try and get a lucky shock here at 9th. But unfortunately, that doesn't work out for me. I do get a star. And now I'm thinking, like, alright, they're going to get the shock, guys. We obviously know when they're going to use it, because I don't know why. I would have thought that IS would have, like, used more, what's it called, like, less obvious shocks. But they're going to take the cut and dodge right here. I think 2 of them took the cut and dodged. But 2 of us also dodged with a mega and a star, so it didn't really make too much of a difference here. And the best part, I mean, think about it this way. When you take the cut, the people behind you are getting a box in, like, a later spot. So they're more likely to pull, like, shrooms and stuff to take the cut on the next lap. So to be honest, that shock for them really, it only helped us more than it helped them. And the one thing I can't stand, like, I love when that happens, obviously, because if it helps us, it's good. But the one thing I can't stand is after the war, when fucking Joe, who's the most cocky, like, what's the word? Just cocky, like, self-absorbed piece of shit says, "You guys are so shock reliant." And then after we say, "You get more shocks than we do," he goes to the red shell count. He goes to the triple freaking red shell count. That's just how sore he is. Anyway, wasn't sure if they had a late game shock here. We are able to finish up strong, though. I'm pretty sure we got 1st and 3rd, if I'm not mistaken, because we did have a shroom, and I think it was 2nd, and I think it was Charles. I should have wrote this stuff down or something. And I'm able to get 9th place, so that works out really well. We end up winning the race by 1, so we did get 1-3. And was it? No, it was Riku. I always get Riku and Charles confused. I don't know why. Even in the Skype call, I still can't, like I know one, I can deteriorate one and the other, but I don't know which one is which. I'm, like, so, like, misguided on that. But anyway, we do well that race, and now we won that race by 1. So we have a 25-point lead going into the last race, which would be the Fum Rum Retro Mario Raceway. Now then, we just can't get top forward and them getting 9th here, and we pretty much win the war. So, I was going to bag, but then I'm like, or they convinced me, like, I think it was POW. I don't know, why does it even matter? Excuse me. POW told me, like, just go forward, because if they don't get 9th, they can't win. Like, if they get 10th, they can't win. So I was like, alright, let's just do this. Right here, I'm gonna stop, because I did still want to get the shock. And I got billed here into, like, the fucking off-road, like 10 meters in the off-road. So I'm going to decide to go for the shock, but unfortunately, Shök comes here backwards with a star, and he goes for the shock, and I was almost 100% sure he got it there. But, like, then he starts going forwards. I was like, yeah, he definitely got it, because there's no other reason. So I'm like, I was just confused. If you look on the mini-map, Derrick, he had a golden before. His breakaway is just enormous, so, like, we knew we were going to need a blue to catch him, and luckily we did pull the blue in this race. I'd get triple shrooms here, and I see Joseph stopping for a dodge. I shouldn't have gone out of my way to star him. I should have just taken a box, but it doesn't really matter. And I actually was mistaken. Shök back there was actually just chaining items, trying to get the shock. He never actually had it. POW is going to use the POW. That's CandyMan is POW, by the way. I should put, like, all the people's names. I'll put them in the description, like, all the people's names when I'm referencing them, so you can see who I'm talking about. Anyway, POW uses the POW. I lose my golden, but it's not really a big deal. And right here, I wasn't sure if Shök had the shot. He might have had it. I don't know. Anyway, I throw my bomb back, and they all activate, or Jerk at least, activates his star. So now I was like, guys, just use your stuff, because they're going to shock. But Shök actually didn't have it the entire time. I'm not sure why. And I'm going to end up pulling it right here in 9th, and I'm just like, okay, game over, I'll just hold it. They did shout out, though, like, use it, use it. I dodged one of them, and I'm pretty sure I dodged 2 of us. And then I end up getting billed there with my triple shrooms by Shök. But it doesn't really matter at this point, because with 2 of us dodging, we do secure some of the top spots. And that does win us the war. So, good games, IS, and thank you all for watching. If you like this, suggest more of it in the comments, because I love doing this, like, going through my mindset. I'll definitely write down, like, what actually happened, like, next time, so that, you know, like, I have a better reconciliation of what actually did happen. So yeah, anyway, good games IS except for Joe. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you want to suggest more, leave some comments. I will see you all next time. Peace to the out.